In this video, we'll talk about les adverbes en français, the French adverbs. You know it already, why we use the adverbs, when we use the adverbs, right? When we want to describe an action, a verb, or an adjective, or another adverb. There we use les adverbes. Okay? For example, il chante bien, right? Il chante bien. So here, bien is an adverb because it describes the action chanter, to sing. Okay, then il chante très bien. Okay, so bien is already an adverb that describes the action of chanter, but très again increases the intensity, or you can say it further describes bien, not just bien, but très bien. So if it describes another adverb, then that is also called an adverb. Okay, and la voiture est vraiment bonne. Okay, so here bonne describes voiture. How is the car? Good, but not only good, really good, very good. Okay, so if you want to say really good, that really is vraiment. So here vraiment describes bonne, that is an adjective. So this is also an adverb. So these are the functions of an adverb. Okay, this was just a quick revision. You know them already. Now, in this video, we'll talk about ment ending adverbs. But before that, let's have a look at the different types of adverbs that we have. Okay. Premier, les adverbes de temps, the adverbs of time. Les adverbes de temps, like hier, maintenant, demain, aujourd'hui, etc. Okay. Then we have les adverbes de lieu. Ici, là, là-bas, partout, that is everywhere. So here, there, over there, everywhere. So these are les adverbes de lieu. Now, next we'll talk about les adverbes de manière and sometimes intensité. Les adverbes, sorry, de manière, okay, and specifically the ones with intensité, okay, or quantité. Okay. So for manière, how was it? Bien, mal, okay, then rapidement. So if you are describing the manner of that action, then you use bien, mal, rapidement, these adverbs, les adverbes de manière. Then the quantité or intensité, you can say très, trop, assez, then beaucoup, etc. Okay. So very, too much, then enough, a lot. Ce sont les adverbes de quantité. Then les adverbes de fréquence. You know them, like toujours, souvent, parfois, quelquefois, rarement, okay, etc. And then les adverbes de négation. Okay, when we want to frame a negative sentence. You know about ne pas, but you know this, ne rien, ne jamais. These are also the other types of négation. Ok, ce sont les adverbes de négation. Ok, pas, rien, jamais, etc. Okay, so here you can see there are adverbs with ment, okay, ending in ment. There are many adverbs that end in ment in French. Like in English, we have ly ending adverbs, right? Happily, rapidly, thankfully, rarely. Okay, so here you can say that mostly if the adverbs end in ly in English, they end in ment in French. Okay, that's roughly like that. Okay, but how to frame those adverbs? Okay, so that's what we learn. Les adjectifs, transforming les adjectifs to les adverbes. Okay, so there are three rules for that. The first type, if the masculine, okay, the masculine form of the adjective ends in a vowel, okay, ends with a vowel, termine par une voyelle, then what do? We just add ment to it. Okay, for example, calme. Calm, it's masculine, it already has an E. Okay, so we just put ment, calmement. Okay, calme, calmement. Then rare. Okay, this is masculine form also has E. So we don't need to do anything else, just put ment. Rarement. Then poli, polite. Poliment. Okay, then absolu, absolument. Right? Then vrai, vraiment. Another example, rapide, rapidement. Okay, that's how it works. Now, what if it doesn't end in a vowel? The last letter is not a vowel. Then we change the adjective. Adjective from masculine to femina, and then we add ment. Not before that. We cannot add ment directly to the masculine form. We transform it, we change it to feminine, to its feminine form, and then we add ment. Okay. So adjectif masculin ne termine pas par une voyelle. So we follow this. We take the feminine form of the adjective and then we add ment. Ok? C'est ça. Donc maintenant, exemple. The first one is sérieux. You see, here sérieux has X in the end. So we have to transform it to the feminine form, sérieuse. And then we add ment. So our adverb is sérieusement. Okay. This is not a vowel. The last letter is not a vowel. So we change it to femina and then we add ment. The same goes for the others. Do, soft. So its feminine form is douce. Obviously, you should know its feminine form. Okay, if you want, you can go through those notes again to know how we change it, the adjective from masculine to feminine. Okay, so here, douce. Douce is feminine form, and then we just add ment. So doucement. Then we have heureux. We change it to heureuse, that is its feminine form, and then we add ment, heureusement. Active is active. So, activement. Okay. Then, parfait. Here, parfait is its feminine form, so parfaitement. Then, certain. Certaine. And the adverb is certainement. Okay. Then, lent, slow will become lente. And then the adverb will be lentement. Okay. And one more example, premier is première. Okay, it is première, its feminine form. So the adverb will be premièrement. That's what we do if the masculine adjective doesn't end in a vowel. Okay, d'accord. Then the third and the last rule. If the masculin, adjectif masculin termine en ENT or ANT, then it's a different case. Okay, it is not like the previous rule. So what do we do here? We change ENT to MMENT. Okay, that's what we'll do. And for ANT, it will change to AMMENT. Yes, adjectif masculin qui se termine par ENT ou ANT. Okay. Yes. Adjectif masculin se termine par une voyelle. Then, ne se termine pas par une voyelle and qui se termine par ENT ou ANT. Prenons des exemples. Par exemple, passion. You see, it's ENT ending. So, we replace that ENT by EMMENT. Pasiamo. That's how we pronounce it. Pasiamo. Okay, passion becomes pasiamo. Then intelligent becomes intelligemment. Then fréquent is fréquemment. Then